Hello everyone. So I picked up a pair of Libratone A Plus second generation. Just wanted to make some comments on these earbuds. They're actually really cool, but am I going to keep them? And we'll talk about why I may not. And with that said, these are some of the best sounding earbuds that I've tried, but I'm still contemplating whether or not I'm going to keep them. So, why is that the case? Well, when I look at true wireless earbuds, my primary concern is fit, sound, ANC. But I've also started to add some other important variables into the mix. The app is not particularly important, but it's nice to have EQ. It's nice to have some control over your earbud. The control on the earbud is important as well. Do you have full control? Do you have minimal control? And then the amount of hours that the earbud lasts without you having to charge it. So those are really the important things that I'm looking at when it comes to these earbuds. So first things first, let's take a look at fit. Well, the case is pretty small. You know, when you do these videos, it's hard to really do justice to the size of a case because everything looks a little bit bigger than what it actually is. The camera puts, what, 20 pounds on the case? But when you look at it, it really is quite small in the hand. And then you open it, the case is a nice, clever design. It's a complete front opening design, so it's not just the top. It opens up, which means these things are really easy to pull out. The only challenge sometimes with the case is it can get a little bit slippery, and so opening it up might not be super easy. You always got to grab it and open it up properly. When you take the earbuds out, the design is really quite clever. It's a stem design, you know, akin to the original AirPods Pro type design idea, but the difference is the stem here has got a cool shape. Like, it's a nice triangular shape and it looks like a wing, W-I-N-G. And part of the reason is because the logo of Libratone is this bird. And you'll see the bird logo on the stem. And the stem itself looks a little bit like a wing. It's small. It's 5.5 grams. And what's really cool with it, it's got magnetism obviously on it. And when you put it in the case, it just locks in quite quickly. The cool thing with this, I found cool anyway, is if you try to take the earbud and stick it on the wrong side, like for example, if this is the right earbud and you try to stick it into the left side, it won't. The polarity of the magnetism is reversed. And so when you try to stick it in, it pushes away. So it only sits in the side that it's supposed to sit in. I don't know, maybe I'm a nerd. I found that actually to be quite clever. So good job, Libratone, with how you set the earbuds inside of the case. With that said, let's take a look at comfort and fit. These are probably some of the most comfortable earbuds that I've tried. I've got funny ears too, and so having something that sits in my ears comfortably is wonderful. So you might ask, well, is there an issue at all? And there is sort of an issue. This really is for small ears. And again, it's sort of hard to see on camera, but the depth of the earbud is pretty narrow. It's like a narrow depth. So if you've got a deep ear conch like I do, the challenge is actually putting this into your ear and getting a nice, secure, deep fit. Putting it in the ear is not a problem, but you can see that there's like almost no profile here because the earbud is really deep as much as it can get into my ear. But the fact of the matter is, it's not deep enough here. My conch is too deep. And so these earbuds are too slim. Now, if the tip was longer, maybe out to here, then I probably wouldn't have an issue. But as it is right now, I can't get it to fit super, super deep. Now, with that said, does that affect anything important like sound? The answer is no. Curiously speaking, it actually doesn't affect sound like you think it would, because we all know that with earbuds, the better the seal you have, then the better the sound you're going to get. But what Libratone did in their app was really quite cool. They have a few pre-EQ settings. You don't have a fully flexible EQ. But what you do have is a smart EQ setting. And what the Libratone does is it's continually testing the sound that's echoing throughout your ear chamber. And it's adjusting the music appropriately to match what it senses. So the EQ is always set almost perfectly to your ear, which leads me to the sound quality. There's only a 5.3 millimeter driver in these earbuds, which is small, especially when you've got other earbuds like the Soundcore Liberty 3s or the Edifier Neo Pros that have 10 millimeter plus. This is half that size. And the question is, can you get a full soundstage from that? And the answer is yes. Libratone did an amazing job. The sound on these is crystal clear. The mids, the highs, crystal clear. The bass is deep. It's complex. And I just simply don't know how they did it with a 5.3. If you tried the Technics AZ60, and I did a review of the Technique AZ60, those were some of the best sounding earbuds I've tried up to this point as well. They use an 8 millimeter. This is smaller at 5.3, but the sound of this is just as good in my opinion as the Technique. Smooth, crystal clear. I really, really enjoyed the sound of these earbuds. One caveat though, because the driver is so small at 5.3, it's not big and booming, which means I was setting the volume at 100%. So getting super loud on this is a real challenge, especially if you don't have that really good seal. So that's the problem, right? These are really designed for small ears. If you have small ears, you should try this. You will love the sound. I'm pretty sure you will love the sound. You'll probably be able to get volume. It'll sound crystal clear. It's a joy to listen to. I really can't stress that enough. Lovely sounding earbuds. But now, again, we've got an issue with seal. So even though it sounds cool and it sounds really good, because again, Libratone and their app have a setting, so regardless of the seal, they still sound good. It's just not going to get to super high volume. And in addition to that, the ANC is going to be affected a bit. Because you can't get that really nice seal if you've got a deep ear, that's going to affect your ANC. So the ANC is decent on this. It's good. And if you had a strong seal on it, I'm sure it's going to be even better. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, again, some of the best sounding earbuds that I've heard across the range. Highs, mids, low, all sound really, really nice. Pleasant to listen to. Just a real joy to listen to the music coming from this thing. But I can't get volume loud enough sometimes because, again, I think it's the seal issue because my ears are a little bit too deep. And then the same is going to be true with ANC. The ANC is decent. With a seal, it's probably going to be really good. Okay, so are there any other issues that I have with this? And the answer is going to be yes. This guy does not give you that much control on the earbud. You've got double tap, triple tap. I ran into this with the Edifier NeoBud Pro and it bothered me. You only have double tap, triple tap on both earbuds. So what do I like? I want volume up and I want volume down. Two controls are gone, just like that. I want to have access to Siri in case I want to call somebody if I'm working out, if I'm riding a bike. I just want to draw up Siri to make the call. For example, three things are gone. What's going to be my last tool? Am I going to have ANC on or ANC off? Am I going to have skipped in the next track? What am I going to have? Am I going to have changed to a different device? Another cool thing with the Libratone is you can connect 3 devices up to this thing at once. Now, it's not all moving simultaneously. It's not I'm listening to the phone and I'm listening to the computer, or I can't listen to the computer at the same exact time. What this has is a tap. Tap it, go to another device. Tap it, go to another device. Tap it, go to another device. So I can have 3 devices paired with this thing simultaneously, and I can access them individually with a tap. But there's a problem. My 4 controls are taken. Volume up, volume down, assistant, next track. Now let me get rid of next track, right? And I'll just use Siri for next track, and then maybe I can add one more. That's cumbersome. You're at the gym, you're going to do tap, tap, tap to draw up Siri. Then I'm going to say, hey, Siri, skip to the next track. I mean, it's just cumbersome. It doesn't make any sense. When you have Liberty Pro 3 giving you every access in the book, long hold, single, double, triple tap, you can use everything. And I'm not suggesting that this guy does everything, but at least give me a single tap. Give me single tap, double tap, triple tap. That will give me 6 things that I can do on the earbuds. And that for me would be enough. Now, I understand why some companies are limiting this because sometimes it gets tricky. Your tapping system can mess up. Like maybe you want to get to a triple tap, but before you get to a triple tap, you got a double tap that gets in the way. I get it. But as the user, the consumer, let me have the opportunity to fiddle with that. And I will say this is the challenge with all earbuds that have tap and not the button. And this is why a lot of people like the button instead, because you can have full control and you know that you're not going to mess this thing up. You're not going to do a double tap to go to the next track and your single tap was volume, but then you accidentally just do volume and you don't go to the next track because of the tap system. I get it, but still is just not enough. So this is a problem. This is a $230 earbud. The sound is $230 without a doubt. Sounds lovely. But the controls on it is lacking. Now you get 6 hours on the Bud, which is cool, but let's put this into perspective. The Edifier Neo Bud Pro, it's 5 hours. You still have only double tap, triple tap, so you only got 4 controls. But the sound on the Edifier Neo Bud Pro is really, really good. Do I think it's as good as this 5.3 millimeter driver, whereas the Edifier Neo Bud Pro has like 10 plus millimeter dual driver system? And I would prefer these, to be honest with you. This is a cleaner, more natural sound, but this is $230. You can get the Edifier Neo Bud Pro for more than $100 less, and the sound is really, really good on those earbuds, and you have the same limitation. At that point, the Edifier Neo Bud Pro doesn't have the Qi wireless charging, whereas this case does. But still, I mean, so again, that's the issue. And I don't know if Libratone in the future can have some type of firmware update which allows it to have fully functional control. I don't know, but to me, it's almost to the point where it's a deal breaker, simply because there's so much good stuff out there right now. Now, do I prefer the sound of this over the Soundcore Liberty 3s and over the Edifier Neo Bud Pro? Absolutely. Do I prefer the sound of this over the Technics AZ60? That's a toss-up. But the Technics AZ60 gives me full control. So the only thing the Technics don't give me is wireless charging. But I can live without that. So I would probably still get the Technics over this one. And now we're also talking about $199 territory, like the Beats Fit Pro. Like the Beats Fit Pro, which is really geared more toward the Apple ecosystem, but you can still use it as Android. That sounds wonderful. And again, you've got good control. You don't have the wireless charging. But again, for me, the wireless charging was never a deal breaker, right? And then you've got other items too, like the AirPods Pro. They're on sale now for $169, $179. So is $230 worth it for this one without the full control, even though the sound is wonderful? Right now, I'm saying no. Now, with that said, though, I'll give you one more caveat. If it fit my ears better, if my ears were smaller, not as deep, I'd probably be having a different story right now, because these sound that good. Really sound good. So I got these actually on sale. Right now they're on sale at the time of this recording for $20 off. So at the $200 price point, it's a little bit of a different paradigm. But anyway, that's my quick review and commentary of the Libratone Air Plus second generation. It's lovely. My suspicion is the third generation might be the way to go. Although again, it's tough because it sounds so good. It really, really sounds so good. All right. With that said, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, bye bye.